Hello, Blue Jays fans, and welcome to another edition of Jays Latest. I'm your host, Craig Borden, and we're going to talk all things Toronto Blue Jays baseball as we step up to the plate. So, fun part about that is things are rough. I guess that would be an understatement, as the Blue Jays were very back and forth last night with the Los Angeles Angels and ended up losing the game in walk-off fashion in the ninth inning against the Angels last night. The bullpen, unfortunately, coming up short once again, and it just appears like this team cannot find a way to close the game out. They double from Jorge Soler was the one that unfortunately uh, just closed everything out for the Angels in that walk off. As I had mentioned, it scored Zach Neto and Nolan Chanel Nolan Chanawala, who had singled. Nato had walked. It was everything you can think of going wrong in the last innings of this game, and it was just not a fun time at the end of the day. So, what did the Blue Jays do right going up to this at least? So, let's talk out the rest of this game before we talk about the monster blowout and fail of this bullpen. At the end of the day, I cannot say enough bad things about what's going on at the back end of our game right now. It seems that to me that Jimmy Garcia and both him and Jeff Hoffman had the yips all of a sudden. Both of them can't find the plate. Been walking guys. One of them, Hoffman plunked somebody last night in his innings, or his inning as he was coming out to close this game out. His ERA is now 4.24. He only recorded one out while allowing three hits. All those three earned runs, as I mentioned, a walk and a strikeout. So he didn't do himself any favors in that, trying to get this, W where he had a chance to, obviously. But Blue Jays were winning 4-1 or 4-2 at the time. So three runs on a double, just kind of blow it up. This is what it is. So yeah, bases loaded in ninth inning. That just never helps. I really hope that Jeff Hoffman finds it, but I think right now you got to let him do his due, get him some rest, whatever it might be. Let Chad Green or somebody else pick up the slack for the time being, because Chad Green has also still been very good. Um, so let's talk how the rest of the game started. Let's move on to starting pitching, because I can't say enough good things about Jose Barrios last night. Barrios pitches 6 innings. He did come out in the seventh. Unfortunately, he got tagged for a home run right in the beginning of the seventh inning. Yoan Moncada, for the second day in a row, finds the Toronto Blue Jays, you know, rough spot, whatever it might be, and gets them a run. Thank God it was only a solo home run at the time. It got the Angels their second run. Their first run earlier in the game also came off of a home run, I thought. Um, I might have to find it. But yes, at the end of the day, Jose Barrios, though, he cruised. He was running through this lineup. There was a point where he struck out 6 in a row. That is his career record for the most strikeouts, strung together like that. So that was really cool to see, really fun. He was pumped. He was dotting his locations, had velocity up in the zone. The Angels did not know what to do with him for those 6 batters in a row. And no, that was through the meat of the order, too. So it wasn't just the bottom of the order, which, as we found out last night, the bottom of the order is no slouch either. But tis what it is. So Barrios did give the Blue Jays the opportunity to stop this, you know, I'll just say losing streak and get a W last night. Again, the bullpen, and most specifically, not even the whole bullpen. Yesterday, it was Jeff Hoffman with his first blown save officially of this year. He's now 3-1 on the season. Yariel Rodriguez came out and actually did really well out of the bullpen. 2 strikeouts, and they're all recording those 4 outs, only allowing the 1 hit. And Brandon Little came in at a point in the ball game where we needed somebody to get some strikeouts, and he did. Recording both of his outs via strikeout. Really cool. So, yes, it is what it is. But like I said, I just want to make sure that everybody thinks that, Jose Barrios is the real deal. As much of a roller coaster it was during that outing last night, Jose Barrios was the start that we needed at the moment to get the bullpen some extra days off and keep things moving in the right direction. It was helpful. It was greatly appreciated, but the rest of the game does not come together the way it needed to. So let's talk the offense, because it was some weird stuff going on offense last night. I saw 2 bunts in 1 inning. The Blue Jays were able to bunt and move some guys around, which led to a big inning. Earlier in the game, we did get to see a Vladdy hustle. Anthony Santander hits a single that had Vladdy running around the bases doing Vladdy things, and it was really good to see the two of them actually go tandem a little bit for the first time, and really see what the top of this lineup can do when they both click. Miles Straw, another big hit, scores Ernie Clement in the seventh inning, which put us up 2-1 at the time. Well, actually, no, 2-1 at the time, and then it kept going. And Miles Straw, also in Andres Jimenez, scored on a Bo Bichette single, which was very, very clutch. It was really cool to see, and that was after all the bunting and crazy that happened in the seventh inning. Jonathan Clase, who just joined the team yesterday, was one of those bunts, and wow, is he fast? I knew he was quick, but I didn't think he was going to beat that one out. Very cool. And then, unfortunately, like I said, things kind of started coming off. Kyle Paris was their home run. There you go. Missed it. That got the Angels back within scoring distance. Then the unfortunate reality of what happened in the ninth inning walks off the Blue Jays. So, rough outing. The Blue Jays need to find a way to get some, pitching apparently all of a sudden. I think you got to run with the idea, like I said, that you can't put Hoffman out there for a couple of games, get him his mind right and everything like that. I do want to mention that down on the farm, Trey Savage had an amazing outing last night. 5 innings, only 1 earned run, 7 strikeouts. So that's, I think, doubling his K rate for at this point. I think he's like 20 something innings and he's got 40 some odd strikeouts. The kid's on fire. He's going to be destined for Vancouver, I think, in the very, very, very near future, and he'll get that chance to do what he needs to do. Other news, Max Scherzer, yes, you heard me, actually had a very good mound session yesterday where he's feeling good, no lingering effects, nothing crazy. It appears that he might actually be heading toward a rehab start. We will obviously update you on that more when we hear how well he does from, the rest of the rehab from yesterday. Other news on the Blue Jays before the game yesterday, they selected the contract of Brandon Fisher, signed him to the 40-man roster, and brought him up to the 25-man roster in Anaheim last night, so he was there. I had mentioned Jonathan Clase was also recalled and joined the team. To make room, they sent Alan Roden and Dylan Tate back down to Triple A, and they also designated the speedy Stuart Baroa for assignment. So we'll see if he remains a Blue Jay or if he's going to end up being a free agent or he gets picked up by somebody else. He's a talented young kid, so I would hope that he has a chance to make Major League Baseball. But yeah, that's that. Let's move on to where we're going to go tonight. The Blue Jays obviously are going to be playing in Anaheim again at 9:30 p.m. Eastern time. So make sure you stay up late, and hopefully staying up late will be rewarded this evening after I know I did the last 2 nights, and it was like a punch in the grill after watching 2 comebacks by the Anaheim Angels in the last 2 nights, making most major league teams right now look like they're the comeback kings of baseball. That needs to stop, and they need to find a way to nail down these games. So Bassett versus Jose Soriano, I mean, tonight. Soriano's been doing pretty damn good so far this season. He's coming off a fresh start against the Detroit Tigers, where he allowed no runs in 6 innings, 6 hits with 5 strikeouts as well. So nothing to slouch at. He has a 3.83 ERA in his 7 starts so far this year with a 1.43 whip. So he has been not allowing a ton of base runners. Fresh off seeing Chris Bassett when I was in Toronto this past weekend, threw 5 1/3, allowed 7 hits, 3 earned runs in his last start, but he is still having one of the best young seasons of his career at a 2.95 ERA in his 7 starts. The crazier part is 43 strikeouts in 39 innings. So really cool that we get to see what we're seeing from Chris Bassett. And if y'all want to, earn some merch, make sure you head over to the Birdwatching GC, my other podcast. You're going to have a chance to win this if you start tuning in over the next couple of days. This was a giveaway at the ballpark the other night. It doesn't exactly fit my style. So we're gonna make sure we hand it out as a prize. So make sure you check that out, and obviously make sure you like, share, subscribe, and share that with everybody, just like you're gonna do hopefully with this Jay's latest podcast. We do greatly appreciate all the listens. It's been fun. I enjoy doing this and getting a chance to vent, especially over the last few weeks as the Blue Jays have been having a rough go at it so far. So make sure you tune in. We will be here to discuss all things Toronto Blue Jays news, and we will talk to you tomorrow. Cheers, everybody. Go Blue Jays.